Bitterness in your morning coffee is usually a signal, not a mystery. In this video, we break down the real culprits behind that harsh bite, from grind size and water temperature to the coffee to water ratio and brew time, and show how baristas fix it at home. We'll also cover less talked about factors like dirty equipment, bean quality, water quality, freshness, and even the timing of your palate. Best of all, you'll learn quick fixes that actually work, so you can enjoy a cafe-level cup without the guesswork. 1. The real culprit behind that harsh morning shock. Picture this. You stumble into the kitchen, eager for that first sip of liquid motivation, only to be greeted by a mouth-puckering blast of bitterness that makes your face scrunch up like you just bit into a lemon. What went wrong? Bitter coffee is usually over-extracted coffee, where the beans get over-brewed and start to give off extra flavors you don't want in your cup, all the bitter stuff. Over-extraction is the most common culprit behind bitter coffee, occurring when water is in contact with coffee grounds for too long, extracting more bitter compounds. Think of it like steeping tea for too long. What starts as a pleasant experience quickly turns into an undrinkable disaster. Bitter coffee comes down to two things: bad beans and bad brewing, with low-grade, Robusta species, or super dark roast beans being naturally more bitter. 2. Your grind size is sabotaging your cup. When your coffee tastes bitter, your grind size may be too fine, because finer coffee particles extract flavors and organic compounds quicker. Imagine trying to drink through a straw that's packed with sand. The water has to work harder to get through, and it picks up more stuff along the way. That's exactly what happens with overly fine grounds. If coffee grounds are too finely ground, you risk an over-extracted, bitter coffee, and different brewing methods require different grinds. The smaller the coffee ground, the faster the water extracts flavors from it, so if you're using grounds that are too fine, they'll give off all their balanced flavors and then move on to the not-so-good stuff. The fix is surprisingly simple. Make your grind coarser and watch that bitterness fade away like morning fog. 3. Water temperature. The Goldilocks principle. Most people think boiling water equals better coffee, but that's where they go terribly wrong. If water is too hot, typically over 205 degrees Fahrenheit, it can over-extract the coffee, leading to complex and overly strong flavors as the high heat pulls out more harsh-tasting compounds. It's like cooking a delicate fish on high heat. You'll char the outside while the inside stays raw. According to the National Coffee Association, the ideal water temperature for brewing coffee is between 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal extraction, with water that is too hot causing a loss of quality and taste. If you pour your water right off the boil, you'll drown the grounds in extremely hot water, which results in the burnt, bitter taste many coffee drinkers despise. Let your kettle cool for about 30 to 45 seconds. After it stops boiling, your taste buds will thank you. 4. The coffee-to-water ratio that actually works. The coffee golden rule, known in professional circles as the golden cup ratio, is a mathematical relationship between coffee grounds and water consistently producing optimal extraction, with the standard golden ratio of coffee to water being 115 to 118. Think of it like a recipe for chocolate chip cookies: too much flour and they're dry, too little and they fall apart. Adding too much coffee relative to the amount of water you use is an easy way to make your coffee taste too strong and in many cases bitter. Adding too much or too little coffee during brewing affects the extraction process and can often lead to bitter coffee, with the National Coffee Association recommending 1–2 tablespoons of coffee for every 6 ounces of water. Professional baristas swear by using a digital scale it's the difference between guessing and knowing exactly what you're doing. 5. Brewing time. When patience becomes your enemy, a long brewing time allows the fibers of the beans to break down, releasing their bitter compounds. So if your coffee has taken on an unpleasantly bitter taste, start by reducing brewing time. Even 30 seconds less can make a difference. It's like marinating meat: a little time enhances flavor, but too much turns it mushy. This is especially common when making French press coffee, as many people leave the coffee in the French press even after pushing the plunger down, causing the coffee to continue extracting and making the next cup more bitter. You brewed the grounds for too long, and there's a sweet spot where coffee tastes just right, but if you pass it, that's when the extra bitter flavors come from. The secret is finding that magical timing window and sticking to it religiously. 6. Your dirty equipment is ruining everything. Another very common cause of bitter coffee, and one of the easiest to fix, is dirty brewing equipment, so clean your equipment regularly to prevent old coffee from causing bitterness. Think about using the same pan to cook fish and then making pancakes. The flavors from previous meals contaminate your fresh creation. If the oils are not removed through regular cleaning of your coffee machine, then they will go rancid, with metallic, bitter or astringent flavors commonly blamed on the barista or coffee beans when they're actually often caused by dirty equipment. If you've cleaned your equipment with vinegar, that flavor can persist for a long time, and if you haven't cleaned your equipment at all, then mold can get into the works and really ruin the taste of your coffee. A simple weekly cleaning routine can transform your coffee from bitter disappointment to morning bliss. 7. The bean quality nobody talks about. Not all coffee is created equal, with cheap coffee being over-roasted to cover up imperfections caused by low-altitude growing and mass harvesting, and when coffee is over-roasted, it tastes bitter and burnt, more like ash than the fruit it comes from. It's like trying to make a gourmet meal with ingredients from the bargain bin. You can follow the perfect recipe, but the raw materials will always limit your results. Certain types of coffee beans, such as Robusta beans, are naturally more bitter due to their high caffeine and chlorogenic acid content, and dark coffee that leans into over-roasted territory may taste more bitter than a light roast. Opt for 100% Arabica beans, which are generally less bitter than Robusta varieties. Choose light to medium roasts, as darker roasts tend to be more bitter, and look for beans with flavor notes like chocolate, nutty, or fruity, rather than bold or strong. Sometimes the solution isn't changing your technique, it's changing your beans entirely. 8. Water quality. The silent saboteur. Your water source can make or break the taste of your coffee, with poor quality water containing harsh minerals, chemicals, and other compounds that negatively alter flavors, and hard water being known for highlighting bitter notes. Coffee is roughly 98% water, so using tap water that tastes like a swimming pool will make your coffee taste like one too. Bicarbonate in hard water can bring out bitter notes even in properly brewed coffee, so using filtered water may solve the problem if adjusting your brewing time, temperature, and grind size doesn't do the trick, but avoid using softened water, which adds sodium to the water and can result in a salty taste. The mineral content of your water dramatically affects coffee flavor, and changes in your water source or municipal water treatment can make your coffee taste different overnight. Investing in a simple water filter can be the difference between mediocre and magnificent coffee. 9. The timing of your taste buds. What you eat or drink before coffee can dramatically affect how it tastes, particularly sweet foods, with taking a swig or bite of something really sweet before coffee completely changing how it tastes, as drinking coffee after your tongue has adjusted to sugary sweetness will amplify the natural bitter flavors. It's like listening to whispered conversation right after a rock concert. Your senses need time to recalibrate. Some people find that coffee tastes different depending on when they drink it, with morning taste buds being more sensitive, while taste perception can dull throughout the day. Eating something sweet just before drinking can make your coffee taste bitter, so hold off on the sweets until later, or simply enjoy the complement of sweet and bitter. Understanding how your palate works throughout the day can help you adjust your brewing accordingly. 10. Quick fixes that actually work. You can use any milk or cream, including plant-based options, to add fat, or add salt. A tiny pinch can help with bitterness, but adding too much creates problems of its own. It sounds weird, but that microscopic amount of salt acts like a flavor enhancer, making the good tastes pop while taming the harsh ones. Add sugar to help make the taste more pleasant. Add cinnamon as a dash can make your coffee sweeter and less bitter. Or add citrus. While this might seem counterintuitive, many brewers find adding citrus can help offset the effects of bitter coffee. A pinch of salt added to your grounds before brewing can neutralize bitterness. Cinnamon can be sprinkled into your grounds or finished coffee, and the fats in milk or cream help to balance out bitter flavors. These aren't band-aid solutions, they're legitimate techniques professional baristas use daily. 11. The freshness factor you're ignoring. Coffee begins losing freshness immediately after roasting, with ground coffee deteriorating even faster within minutes of grinding. Coffee begins losing volatile compounds that contribute to its flavor. Think of coffee beans like fresh bread. They're amazing when they're just made, but they get stale fast once exposed to air. Freshness is key for delicious coffee, with whole beans staying fresher for longer than pre-ground coffee. Ideally using your beans within 4 weeks of roasting for the best flavor, and storing your beans in an airtight container away from light and heat to keep them happy. Very dark roasts and flavored coffees have oils on their surface that can go rancid over time or contaminate grinders, and these oils can make future batches of coffee taste bitter or off flavor. Fresh beans are like fresh ingredients in cooking. They're the foundation everything else builds upon.